Living green walls are architectural design that's catching on because they're beautiful and they're lush, but there are many more benefits to the green wall movement. And joining me today to talk about his budding green wall business is Craighton Ellingsworth from GreenWallSource, and you're the president and CEO, right?
That's right. Thanks for having me here, Miriam.
Well,
Appreciate it.
Thanks so much for coming. So how did this trend get started, green walls?
Oh, it started about 20 years ago, honestly. NASA did some research into green walls and space stations for air filtration, and then we saw some commercial products coming out of France that were a little bit more commercially viable in terms of something that we could start putting in office buildings and residences. And then in the last 10 years, we've seen a whole lot of new green wall systems being developed and coming out there on the market from a variety of different vendors, both here in America and Europe. So there's just a lot of options now on green walls, from hydroponic systems to potted soil systems. There's many different ways to achieve these vertical walls of greenery.
Well, I would imagine that with a system like that and the investment that goes into it, you want an expert. And so let's just spend a little time on your expertise and how you got involved with green walls.
Sure. So I actually have been involved with this for about 10 years now. I've been looking at them since about 2007 and trying to design different ways of doing these to make it a little bit easier and simpler for everybody to be able to access them. I've gotten some certifications that are along the way that really help demonstrate the knowledge in the industry.
Tell me about those.
LEED accredited professional for building design and construction. That's basically those plaques that you see on the front of all the buildings showing that they're LEED certified. I'm one of the people that helps them achieve that and figure out what the strategies that they're going to utilize to get that certification for their building. I've also become a WELL AP, which is really more around the health and wellness of the occupants of a building, making sure that they've got a healthy environment in which to do their work or in which to live. And all those things really lend themselves to green walls and being accepted in the industry as not just a fad, but a really a viable tool that's very helpful and just really beautiful.
Not only is it beautiful, but there are some monetary benefits. So let's talk first about the environmental benefits of having a green wall interior.
So bringing a green wall inside, what you're getting, first of all, is biophilic benefit, which is bringing nature indoors and just giving people that feeling of being outdoors and being in a natural environment. You're also getting the air filtration benefits from the green walls. So we're removing harmful toxins from the air as well. And you generally see an improvement in health from people who are in environments with a lot of green plants there. They actually provide a little bit of regulation to the humidity levels in the air, and they just provide cleaner air and more natural air that really you see less sicknesses in these environments as well. So it's just multiple benefits on many levels.
Not to mention plants make people happier, right?
Exactly.
And from a perspective of always trying to think about how to stimulate learning in children, I would imagine that seeing things grow, hands-on learning, the opportunities of being part of something like that is a positive.
Absolutely. You know, plants, surprisingly enough, not just learning how to care for them and grow them, but just bringing them into a learning environment, it does something in children's minds. We've got the studies that back it up. We don't know exactly why it helps them, but we know it helps them study better, perform better. Their cognitive performances improve in rooms with greenery in them. Plants absolutely belong in classrooms. They're not only good for kids to learn, they help them learn and become more effective.
So we can all kind of envision what it would be like to have a beautiful green wall in our house. But what about city planners? How are they integrating green walls? Because you see it in some of these cities that are really concrete jungles, and they're trying to like spice it up and make it a little more welcoming, right?
Right, exactly. You find a lot of these urban centers that don't have a lot of greenery in them, and they don't have a lot of horizontal space anymore in which to create a park or something like that. Especially you look in the heart of Manhattan and areas like that. So they're looking a lot more at using these vertical surfaces to bring the greenery in, to provide sound dampening in the cities as well. They really do a great job absorbing sound. So they can really help soften the feel in a city center as well. And do a great job at removing pollutants from the air as well. That's one of the things that we found them being most successful at. We see really big drops in the level of pollutants in the local areas right around these green walls. There are measurable reductions.
So it would seem to me that a project like this would require some planning, and you'd want to consult with somebody. So at what phase would somebody call you in to discuss the potential green roof? Think about it in terms of like buildings.
Right, and we like to be involved at the earliest design concept, because making the wall an integral part of your building design and your plan, whether it's just as an artistic and aesthetic element, or if it's one of these active air filtration green walls that actually breathe and are maybe even integrated with your HVAC units and are part of your air handling strategy, the earlier we're involved with the design, the more benefit we can get out of the walls and we can provide for the clients who purchase them.
And so right now you're based here in Arlington. You've got a project that people could go and see?
Actually, it's right here on the screen right now. This is the common application here in Arlington. They're one of our local clients, and this is a great wall. It's about 500 square feet, and we really use some of our real standard plants there. Actually, is what you see. You'll see pothos, and you'll see philodendrons and scheffeleras on there. These are great, sturdy plants that really are going to survive everywhere.
This is fantastic. Well, how do people get in touch with you?
So we can be found on the web at www.GreenWallSource. That's all one word, GreenWallSource.com. Our phone number, 703-340-7770. And we're available anytime. We're always happy to talk about green walls.
Well, I want to thank you so much. I really enjoyed talking about green walls. I hope you come back and see us.
Love to. Love talking about them.
Excellent. All right, now I want to thank our viewers and our listeners for tuning into the Sustainable Scoop. That's our news. Now back to the news desk.